much. Well, today we wanted to talk about overcoming overwhelm as a new business owner. And I really just want to jump right in. If you see me look at notes, it's because sometimes things are happening on the screen and I don't want to forget what I want to tell you all. And it's just very simple. 4 simple things that we're going to talk about today in terms of overcoming overwhelm as a new business owner. And the reason why I decided to talk about this today is because I've been getting a lot of clients coming to me saying, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, there's so much to do, and you're absolutely right. As a business owner, there are 50 million trillion things to do, and typically you're the one that has to do them. So hey, Walter. So what I wanted to just do is break it down for you today in 4 simple steps, 4 things that you can really think about when you're starting to feel overwhelmed. One of the biggest reasons why people, well, really there are 2 main reasons in my mind why people get overwhelmed or feel overwhelmed is because it's either the way you're thinking about it or the way you're going about doing things. And so a lot of times what happens, and I don't know if it's true, if you could just show me with some hearts or in the comments, if you can just tell me if this ever happens to you. So you have 50 million things that are going on your to-do list. I'm trying to do a launch and I got to send my blog post out and I got a newsletter and I got a networking function, and you're thinking about 50 things that you have to do. And when you just think about the things that you have to do, you feel overwhelmed. And what happens when you feel overwhelmed? Thank you for the hearts. Usually, exactly, what it makes me do when I feel overwhelmed is I want to take a nap and not do anything. And so let me know if that ever happens to you all, when you feel like I got a zillion things to do and I'm so overwhelmed, I don't really want to even do anything. And so a lot of times that happens to us. Absolutely. A lot of times that happens when we're feeling overwhelmed with our to-do list. So the first point of today in terms of how to overcome overwhelm is to write it down. A lot of times when people, hey Clark, thank you for the heart. A lot of times when you feel overwhelmed, it's because you really haven't actually taken stock of all of this stuff that there is to do. Sometimes just simply writing down the things, all of these things that you think you need to do, then you can take a look at it. Which is the second thing. Take a look at it and prioritize. Some of these things you can be delegating. Some of these things really are not as important. And so you can just cross them off of your list. A big thing that I think a lot of us entrepreneurs and solopreneurs don't take the time to do, great idea, Terry, is keep it simple. Just cross it off your list. Keep it simple. Prioritize. We don't take the time to delegate. We don't even take a look at everything that there is on the list and figure out what we can delegate. So that's another thing that we can do. We want to write it down, see what it is. We want to take a look at it and see what we can eliminate or delegate. Delegate to elevate. I love that. I've never used that before, but I love it. Hey, Gerard. Thanks for joining us. And then the third thing that some people don't even think about, but it's just so simple. If you're looking at this list and truly there are a lot of things that you need to do, one thing that you can do is just breathe. And I know it's like, I got too much stuff to do. I don't need to be sitting here and meditating and breathing and all of that. But sometimes, at least for me, when I'm feeling overwhelmed and feel anxious, sometimes if I just, sometimes if I just take a moment and stop and breathe, it can just ground me, and then I can focus on, absolutely, I can focus on what really is important and what needs to be done now. And then the 4th simple tool is, I think is also very overlooked, is to plan ahead. A lot of times, especially for my clients who are building a business while still working a job, what they tend to do is they say, okay, I've got 1 hour or maybe 2 hours to get everything done for my business, either before work or after work. And they sit down and they have no idea what really needs to be done that day. And when they're sitting there trying to figure out all that needs to be done at the time, absolutely, at the time of doing it, that in and of itself becomes a chore, a task, and something else to overwhelm you. So if you take a moment at the end of the day or at the end of your working time the day before to figure out, okay, this is what needs to get done. Thank you for the hearts. This is what needs to get done for this project, or this is my goal for the week. And these are the 2 or 3 things, not 20, not 10, not even 5. 5. These are the 2 or 3 most important things that I need to get done today, and write those down. Then that can help you be like, okay, I think I can handle this. I can do 2 or 3 things, but when you have a list of 20, it can be overwhelmed for even the best of us. So we talked about writing it down, taking stock of actually what there is need to be done. We talked about looking at it, and tell me more about that philosophy, Terry. I can't. 10 before 10. 10 before 10 a.m. Is that what you're trying to do? Get 10 things done before 10 a.m., Terry? If you could tell me a little bit more about what the 10 before 10 is. So while she's putting that in the chat for us, we are, hey Gustav, we are looking at it. Yes. Oh my gosh, you are super productive. 10 things before 10 o'clock. Now, are these things all having to do with your business, Terry? Or are they just 10 general things? Like I got to wash the dishes, I got to wash the clothes, I got to brush my teeth, that kind of thing. If you can put that in the chats for us. And thank you guys so much for the hearts there. But writing it down, looking at it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They got to be small things. But you know, sometimes just getting something done. Right. That's exactly right. As long as you get something done, it gives you this boost of energy. Just like, okay, I've gotten something else done. Now I can move on. Thank you so much for the hearts. And then, so we talked about write it down, look at it, breathe, just walk away for a minute, and then planning ahead. If you take the time, take the 5, 10, 15 minutes to plan for the next day, you'll be so much more productive when it comes time to sit down and do your work for the day. Thank you so much, Terry, for all of your insight. Thank you, guys. Yes, when you map it out, it makes it super easy and you can be super productive. And the other time tip I have for you today before we sign out, thank you guys so much for the hearts, are to block your time. You know, if you are feeling like you're sitting down huge chunks during the day and you're not getting anything done, you might be sitting there a little bit too long. So if you just keep your time chunks to an hour and a half, 2 hours at the max, and you keep it focused, which was one of our points, breathe and focus on just one type of activity. Yeah, one type of activity, it will make your life so much easier. So thank you again, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. This is Tavana Denise, and make sure you follow me and check me out on TavanaDenise.com. All right.